D, I met when I first came to LA. We've all been friends because they were all signed to Rodney. Him,
Yeah.
Harmony, Tommy
Oh,
Brown,
Harmony was signed there too.
Victoria
Oh,
Monet,
wow.
Jukebox. Like they were all a part of the Rodney thing early on. So I met D early in my time out here, and I just was always blown away by his talent. I'm like, you are exceptional. I have camp. I have, and Camper is exceptional too. Like
Yeah.
I've been around. Harmony's exceptional.
Yeah, yeah.
I've been around producers that, but I'm like, this guy has something very, very special about him. So we became friends. We used to hang out because a bunch of them had this house in Glendale.
211?
211.
I
You
know.
used to be over there.
No, 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 no. I did my research.
Okay.
I wasn't around.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
211, apartment
211.
211.
Yeah, we had
Okay.
some good times over there. So we were friends.
Let's talk about that for a
Yeah.
second. What's the magic about 211? Because I think it's like it's not
Yes.
talked about a lot.
It's a
What?
collective. So who was living there? It's him, Ba, Mikey, Osinachi. Um, I don't know if John was ever their roommate, but he was over there all the time. But they were like producers and engineers and like guys in music, but they were just young and out in LA, and they're all really fun guys. They like to have a good time. So they would just throw these like parties and
Though,
we would go over there and
yeah.
hang
To
out.
be fair, what I heard it was from John, an interview he did with Pensado,
Yes.
and he talked about. I don't think he lived there,
No, but he was there all the
but he was
time.
there all the time. Yeah,
Yeah, we were there.
yeah.
We were hanging out over there.
All musicians,
Yeah, all
all making
musicians.
music.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So we became friends, and I was like a fan of his work. A lot of people don't know that he produced feedback for Janet Jackson, and yeah, I'm like, you're exceptional, but you're so low key. Like a lot of people didn't know what D-Mile even looked like for
Very
a
low
long
key.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he wouldn't post pictures of himself on his Instagram. He would post like pictures of the studio. Um, and so we were friends, and in 20, decided to be 2017 when Camper fired me for the second time.
The second time.
Yeah, Camper and I have had a back and forth for decades.
Okay.
But yeah, he had let me go, and when
Sorry,
I
what
was
year did you say?
17.
2017?
Yes,
Oh, this is after the
yes,
best part.
yes. This is after the best part. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
it is. We should get into that conversation.
Sure.
Yeah, Camper and I decided to go our separate ways, and I love Camper so much. We're still very close friends, but he always had this feeling that like you don't need any other producers. Like I'm your guy.
Okay.
And it's really interesting, and I think a lot of managers have experienced this because I'm friends with other managers and we talk about this.
Yeah.
A lot of times clients can get territorial with you, not taking into consideration that you're only getting a small percentage of the money that they're making,
100%.
but they feel like, you know, they're all that you need.
Yeah.
We're going to do this together and we're going to make all this money together. You don't really need anybody else. And Camper has been very successful. We made a lot of money together. But he wasn't a fan of the idea of me managing other producers. He was fine with songwriters, he's fine with artists, but he's like, I'm the only producer you need. So when he let me
It's
go,
competition. Okay.
yeah, he doesn't even want to feel like there's competition because
Okay.
in his mind, it's like no one can compete with me. So you
Okay.
don't need anybody else. Cool. In hindsight, I never should have subscribed to that, but we were so locked in that I'm like, cool, I got you, Camper. I'll focus on you.
Okay.
So when he let me go, literally within 3 weeks, D-Ma hits me like, hey, when you have some time, I'd love to catch up. I want to talk to you. And I'm like, absolutely. Myself in Paris, we pull up on him at the studio, and he's like, I really just feel like I need someone, like a proper manager on my team. And I'm just like, yeah, because what's happening? Like, you're one of the best in the game. At that point, he was actually ready to quit music because he felt like for some reason he wasn't being called into the rooms that he thought that he should. And like nothing was really panning out for him.
Okay.
He was already like getting out of his situation with Rodney. But he's like, yeah, I don't understand why I'm not being called into these rooms. And I'm like, well, I don't think a lot of people, you're just like not on people's radar like that.
Right.
It's not that I think when your name comes up, you're like every producer's favorite producer.
Right.
If you talk to a lot of the bigger names of producers of this generation and ask them who their favorite is, they're going to say D-Mile.
Yep, 100%.
Yeah, but he just didn't have he's not someone that the labels were calling or the managers when they were going in on stuff. So I'm like, he saw what had done with Camper, and he's like, I just feel like I need somebody like you who is in those networks and in those conversations to like pull me into stuff. And I'm like, everyone needs to know who you are. Are you kidding me? So I'm like, absolutely would be honored to work with you. I think that you're incredible. I immediately was like, we need to build on your profile a little bit.
Right.
You might need to come outside a little bit, but I got you. And our next meeting, I was like, what are you excited about? Because again, when you're as exceptional as someone like a D-Mile is, I'm like, who are you working with that you are excited about the music with? And he's like, me and Lucky have an album.
Oh,
and
okay.
I'm like, as soon as he said that, I just knew. I'm like, this shit's probably so crazy. I'm like, I need to hear something. First song he plays is this song Karma. And like 20 seconds in, I'm like, D-Mile, stop the music right now.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
That's the first song he
plays? That's
plays?
The first song he plays. Knew. Yeah, I'm like, blew my head off. I'm like, okay. I'm like, you can ask him. I said, oh, you guys are trying to go to the Grammys.
You're trying to go to the Grammys, yeah.
You guys are doing. I'm like, nobody is doing this kind of R&B.
Like,
D is just, he really is humble.
Yeah.
He's like, he's like, he knows it's great, but a lot of people did not see the vision. They had played the music for other people, and they're just like, they couldn't grasp it because it's so retro, but it's like, they're like, it's not going to work right now.
Because of, yeah. You know how many times people will be saying that shit, but it's always
they don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
I was like, they're wrong. Because back then, we have like Bryson, it's like trap soul vibes or whatever. And this is just so left.
It's black.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, no, this is going to cut through.
Yeah.
And immediately my brain starts like working overtime. I'm like, okay, how is this coming out? Like, what are you guys doing with this album? He plays Karma, then he plays Roll Some More. And I'm like, okay, what does Lucky want to do? And he's like, the album was done, sequenced everything.
Oh, done.
The album was done. I'm like, can I have this music to live with for a little bit? And I was like obsessed with it. I didn't even want to hear anything else when I got my hands on Painted. And I'm like, what's the plan? And he's like, I think Lucky's trying to figure it out. You should talk to him. And again, because I had maintained my relationship with Lucky all those years, even though we weren't working together, it was super easy for me to just be like, yo, let's meet. We went to lunch at Nat's Diner. I brought Paris along because I'm like, he has all of the things. It just needs a little bit of tweaking. I'm like, someone needs to come in and style him. Somebody needs to package it. So, and he had already changed his name. I'm like, yeah, we need the right partner for this. He was actually finishing his BMG publishing deal, and he was having other meetings with publishers. He's like, I'm like, it's really important for your publisher to believe in you as an artist.
Yep.
So I started taking him around. Yeah, I started taking him around to meetings, and people were blown away by the music. So I was confident that wherever we ended up on the pub side, because he was like, I need a manager. I need you. Because he didn't really know what to do. He's like, I just do the music. I'm not sure what the best way is to go about getting it out there. He was having some conversations with like Tidal and whatever. And I'm like, let me move it around a little bit. Mm-hmm. But I knew that I needed to at least put it in front of Tunji, because what he had done in R&B from Bryson, beyond R&B, because like Khalid he's not an R&B artist. He's a pop artist.
Sure.
But like what he was doing in black music, I just was like, I think Tunji's going to get it, because Tunji's an artist first. So his ear is great. I'm like, he's going to be blown away by this music. And Tunji's like, send it to me, Nat. And I'm like, no, I need to play it for you in person. With Lucky there, I need to pull up. And I had to wait.
How important was it to play it that in person?
So important to me. Because I need to look you in your eyes when you are, I need to feel that you feel what I'm feeling when you hear this music.
Yeah. I think that's important, not to cut you off, but I think that's super important, because these are potential partners.
Yes.
You don't want to just send them something
No.
and not understand how they
Yes.
feel about it.
100%.
The only way you're going to be able to figure out is if you're in the room. So if you have those relationships,
Yes.
go and do that. 100%. If you don't,
100%.
try and figure out how to get in the room with them and play them the music.
Yep.
And let them hear it for the first time in that room, because
Yep.
you're gonna get
Be able to
a real
gauge.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I agree 100%.
That's
Yeah. Yeah, he
amazing.
kept asking me to send it, and I'm like, nope, I'm not going to send it. Everyone's sending you music. I'm like, I need to come and play for you in person. We pull up on Tunji, one song in, he texts me like, I need to sign this.
Right when you
and I'm like,
left.
told you.
And this is when he's at RCA. He's got his own situation
So
there.
Keep Cool was a brand new
Yeah.
thing. He had just signed Normani.
Yep.
He had signed Van Jess, and Lucky was his third signing. We had another offer on the table from another label that, again, offered more money. And I was like, no, we need to do this with Tunji.
Can you say who?
Yeah, because she's not there anymore. It was Warner.
That was Warner.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they had offered more money. But
Wait, Julie?
No.
Oh, okay.
Rainey was there at the time.
Okay.
But we took a meeting. I won't name this executive, but we knew that we weren't going to end up doing the deal there because, transparently, there was a white executive who knew that we were also in a conversation with Tunji, and the way that they tried to downplay Tunji, we weren't going for it as soon as we walked out of the meeting, because it's like, Tunji's never going to shit on another executive. He's going to say, this is why I think I would be great for you to,
Right.
But the things that happen in this business sometimes are so, it's like, you don't have to do that. Just tell us why we should be here versus, dragging down a Black executive who we actually have a great relationship with, who's doing amazing things.
That's crazy that, I don't even
turned
understand.
Me off.
Yeah, of course.
Lucky too. We were like, nah, you don't get to do that to Tunji.
Yeah.
So that was like a huge part of our decision making as well. But we just entrusted Tunji's taste, the team that he had built around him. They were all really excited about Lucky, and it felt like the best. I had a great relationship with Peter Edge already because of what we had done. Yeah, love Peter.
Peter's good
love
people.
Keith.
Yeah.
We had already had success together with her through Camper. So I just felt like RCA and Keep Cool was the best home for what we were doing. And it was. So yeah, we ended up doing the deal with Tunji and Keep Cool. And to this day, it's probably some of my proudest work. I really feel like the way Lucky came into the game, was so impactful for R&B.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm being honest,
Mm-hmm.
that is what changed the trajectory of D Miles' career, my career. Like, that's the thing that changed everything for all of us. Like, when Bruno heard that, that's what made Bruno call. Like,
oh, really? Okay.
who did this?